Top of the hour, let's begin with the breaking update of the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, who has said that violence does not benefit anybody and has emphasized the need to bring together all of the communities together and preserve humanity. The comments are coming against in the backdrop of the recent clashes that were held between different groups in several parts of the country. While Mohan Bhagwat has also raised concerns over communal unrest in the wake of the recent violence that has been reported there, with the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat urging communities to join hands. Also in a clear warning, Mohan Bhagwat has said a society that promotes violence will lead to its end. We'll play out that reaction there. Also going to a reporter shortly, where the RSS chief now seems to be saying that there is no benefit that comes from violence. This is in the backdrop of many of those clashes there nearly in half a dozen states that has been reported on multiple occasions just in this month.
हमारी बातें गलत है, किसी दूसरे का विरोध करने वाली है, दुनिया में अशांति हिंसा लाने वाली है, तो फिर हमारे लिए समय मर्यादित है। अब उसके दिन लग गए, आखिरी छटपटाहट हिंसा की तरफ, असद्भावना की तरफ। सद्भावना पर जो चलते हैं, अहिंसा पर जो चलते हैं, सत्यवाद पर, न्यायवाद पर जो चलते हैं, उनके लिए समय है, क्योंकि वो रहने वाले हैं। वो रहते हैं, इसलिए दुनिया रहती है।
Well, that is the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat saying that violence does not benefit anybody and has emphasized the need to bring together all of the communities and preserve humanity. These comments are coming against the backdrop of the recent clashes that was held in different parts of the country between several groups. Straight away going across to Sabyasachi now, because an important comment by the RSS chief there, Sabyasachi, saying that violence does not benefit coming from any community.
Absolutely, quite important statement by RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. He clearly stated that all communities should come together to maintain peace across the country, and he also points out that people to whom violence is dear, their days are coming near. So these are the important lines which Mohan Bhagwat said, that to maintain peace and law and order situation in the country, it is very important that people does not support violence. They maintain the law and order situation in every single part of the country. And he also emphasized on building up on a Sindh university in the country, and he clearly stated that India is a multilingual country and it is very important to preserve all the languages. And this particular statement comes in backdrop of the violence that we had seen taking place in different parts of the country. And after that, the statement by RSS chief comes up, where he requests people to maintain law and order situation in the country. But on the other hand, he also gives a warning to the people who support violence.
Absolutely, Sabyasachi, because clearly what is being said, also in a clear warning there that has been given by Mohan Bhagwat, saying that a society that promotes violence will lead to its end.
Absolutely. It's a clear warning to people who have been supporting violence. Time and again, we have seen several organization names have been come up in different communal violence that has taken place across the country, and several leaders have spoken up against them also. So that is the reason why Mohan Bhagwat has clearly pointed out that people to whom violence is dear, their days will end soon. So this is a clear warning by RSS chief regarding the communal violence that has been continuously taking places across the country, where several people have been injured. So this is a stern warning given by the RSS chief to the people to maintain the law and order situation at any given cost.
Sabyasachi, thanks very much for the update. Once again, listening in to the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat urging the communities to join hands. But let me go across to Rakesh Sinha ji first up. Sir, good morning to you. This is a very important message that is coming from Mohan Bhagwat ji, clearly saying that when it comes to the communities, their violence is not benefiting anyone.
You know, Mohan Bhagwat ji has rightly pointed out that it is a democracy, liberal democracy. It is a matter of dialogue. It is a means of negotiation. It's a means of mutual respect and mutual dialogue, which lead to the ultimate solution of any problem. Those who are indulging in violence, in fact, they are harming the secular ethos of this country and secular democracy. And those people who are reluctant to negotiate, they are also damaging the democratic fabric. Therefore, RSS has made it very clear to the RSS chief's message that violence is not a means to resolve any question or any problem. I think that after Mohan Bhagwat ji's intervention, all those people who are indulging in violence from any side. They must refrain from violence. This is undemocratic and against the very liberal base and ethos of the country.
Absolutely. But Rakesh Sinha ji, do you believe that this is also an answer that is now being given to those people and lobby who try to project in a way that India is having a bad image because of this violence that has now been created over the last few days, sir?
No, you know, the question is not the India's image. The India's image is not going to be harmed by anything like that because they are the microscopic elements who are trying to create such situation. I think that in a democracy, when Prime Minister is very clear that constitutional means should be adopted to resolve the question, when Mohan Bhagwat, who is heading the largest Hindu organization, and that has the hegemony in this country, has given a clear message that RSS has nothing to do with such violence, and not only that, his appeal and his directive to those people who are indulging in the violence, they must refrain.
Right.
This is not the means. This is not the means to resolve any question in a liberal democracy.
Rakesh Sinha ji, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका सर हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. Rich, over to you.
All right, we are also joined by Atul Anjan on the phone line. Mr. Atul, how would you respond to this latest statements coming in from the RSS chief himself, Mohan Bhagwat, regarding the current communal clashes we have been witnessing in various parts of the country? He is now giving out that stern warning, stating that violence is never the answer and that a society that promotes violence will certainly lead to its end.
The Mohan Bhagwat ji's public utterance is only for public consumption. Actually, his cadre, his people are involved in all sorts of, communal passions, and RSS people are creating trouble in society. The day before yesterday, what happened in Ayodhya? 9 people on the motorcycle, they used, communal trends. They use some, meat and thrown it. So there's worship places.
But sir, if the situation does not escalate, timely action has been taken by the police. Within 24 hours, all of those culprits, it doesn't matter whom they belong, from which community they come from, they have now been taken into custody, sir.
Bulldozer is used just for criminalization. It is used for division among in the society, and now he is preaching. It's like a parrot type of utterances which they are using since last 20 years, 30 years. They want social harmony. In public there must be some love and passion and compassion. But what they are doing just different. And this is all because of that mob lynching is taking place. Because of that, communal hatred is very much there. So
yes,
all these things are there. I appeal to the people, when we had, this Eid, they should create a situation of peace and tranquility, and they should not involve into all these things. And let's not put a bad image of our country.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Anjan, for joining us here on this broadcast. Let me go back to Sabyasachi. So Sabyasachi, the opposition, time and again since the recent incidents of communal clashes have been happening, have been targeting the BJP as well as the RSS and stating that they are the ones who are inciting this violence and vice versa. And the statement coming in from Mohan Bhagwat himself, any responses from them yet?
Well, absolutely. See, opposition parties has been time and again after the communal violence has been attacking the central government. But the opposition party should look that the communal violence that had taken place in Jahangirpuri, there was immediate action taken by the Delhi police. But what happened in Karoli, the main accused is still not been arrested. He's been absconding for over 20 days. So that questions the credibility of the opposition parties when they raise this question on the BJP government, stating that the BJP government and the RSS are behind this communal violence. So the blame game is going to continue in this matter. But so far from the opposition parties, be the Congress, there has been no reaction has come yet. But the RSS chief has very clearly stated that all the community should come together to maintain maintain the harmony and peace and law and order in the country. And he clearly pointed out that people, community or any society who will trouble the peace would not be spared. So this is the warning that has been issued by Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, but the opposition parties, as usual, has strong words against the RSS as well as the BJP government, stating that BJP government are the one instigating the communal violence at first.
Right. For the moment, Sabyasachi, thanks very much for joining in.